Hey guys, and welcome back to the A&J Education YouTube channel. In today's video, we're discussing Thinking Skills Assessment Test, or also known as the TSA, that Oxford and some other programs use, some other universities use as well. And if you're applying to a subject that requires TSA exam, keep watching because this video is going to be very useful to you. All right, so we're again joined by my colleague James Milford. Hi, James.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
So, James, what is the TSA?
So the exact form of the TSA will depend on the institution that you're sitting the paper for. So for Oxford, it consists of two parts. The first part is a multiple choice section, and the second part is a written test. So the first part lasts 90 minutes and you answer 50 multiple choice questions. The second part lasts 30 minutes and you have to select one question and write a short essay on it. The purpose of the TSA is really to test your ability to reason across a number of different kinds of reasoning, so whether that's spatial reasoning, its ability to recognise an argument, that kind of thing. And then within the writing test, your ability to structure and present your ideas clearly.
Okay, interesting. And in terms of, TSA, for example, Oxford, famously would say you cannot prepare for TSA. Just come in and sort of, do it as if you were. Preparation is pointless. I personally don't quite buy that argument because, loads of our students, we prepare them for the TSA. Some of them super successfully. It seems to me that the more time you put in, the more prepared you will be. But would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's certainly true. So whilst the TSA isn't testing you on any particular knowledge, the kind of reasoning that it is testing you on is certainly something you can develop. So you can develop your pattern recognition, you can develop your ability to decipher a piece of text and divide the argument up into premises and a conclusion. And also beyond that, you can certainly familiarise yourself with the style of questions that are given in the TSA and how one should go about answering them. And then also there are more practical things that you can learn, like how you should approach the exam, how you should time yourself. Typically the first questions are easier than the last, so how much time you should be spending on, say, the first half of the multiple choice questions is something that you can learn and familiarise yourself.
Right. So it sounds like practice does.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, and then similarly with the second half of the test, if you're sitting at for Oxford, the writing component, certainly there practicing. Providing essay structures is something that will help you incredibly.
No, great. And in terms of preparation for the TSA, so there are some past papers online that that you guys can find. But how else, apart from doing past papers, because you're going to run out of them fairly quickly. Yep. So how do you, how can you prepare?
Yeah. So with regards to the multiple choice, you've got the past papers. But also for those questions which are asking you to carve up a piece of text into, say, premises and conclusion, carve out the argument. You could just, for example, pick up a newspaper and go to the comment section, and try and find and pull out an argument there, and carve it out into its premises and conclusion, and see how you would improve the argument and how you would respond to the argument. For the second part of the test, the writing, you can certainly go through past papers and look up questions, and then just rather than actually writing out a full essay, I think you get a lot of value just from preparing an essay plan, because a big part of that writing test is how you structure your thoughts. So it's much better to have, say, a one-page structured essay than it is to ramble on for 2 or 3 pages. You can go through past papers and write essay plans for those questions, but also, you can find a range of any kind of question, really. Any kind of question can have an essay plan written for it, and that'll be helpful for you.
And what's just briefly, how do you structure an essay, especially for international viewers? What's a ideally structured essay? What does it look like?
I think, speaking in the abstract, it would be to precisely define the question. So sometimes there might be different senses of terms that are used in the question. So off the top of my head, it might be something like, is it better for a ruler to be to rule with fear or with love? And then you might say, well, what's our metric for the success of a ruler, right? So to begin with. and then in the main body, I would just consider various different points for your position. I think for the TSA, it's better to decide on a position and argue for that particular position.
Right. Okay.
And then here, it's critical really to order your points in the order of power, and that's going to be a big part again of your essay plan and how you're structuring the essay. And I think then it's worth finishing with maybe some counterpoints as well. So think of some counterpoints and how you how would you would respond to those points, because you've already taken a certain position. And then finally the conclusion can just be summarising those different points. But yeah, certainly I think a big part of the approach to these kinds of essays is to have that introduction where you define precisely the question, because the whole point again is that you're able to demonstrate thinking clearly and lucidly.
That's very interesting, and I think a lot of young people would miss that.
Yep.
They will sort of jump straight into into an essay when actually it's it can be fluid in terms of by what metrics you judge it. So that's really fantastic tip. Well, James, I think that's it. So, guys, look, if you sitting the TSA and you're getting a low score, even after watching this video, then nothing can help you. So, but on a serious note, TSA requires dedicated time to prepare. So do not do it last minute. Try multiple past papers. Use Google and YouTube for resources. There is so much information out there online available for, completely for free. Use the advice from there's been very valuable advice from James, and all the best to you. Let us know in the comments how you're getting on with the TSA and your applications. And remember that we have a newsletter that I send out every 2 weeks, and you can sign up for it in the link below. And it's packed with tips and tricks on university admissions and information on CV building events that you can benefit from remotely. So all the best with your applications. James, thank you very much again.
Cheers.
And see you next time, guys. Take care.